Having made Drop Dead Gorgeous the year before, and this was a time where I was making a piece, a large ensemble piece every year, we needed a sort of antidote to the dark and the dust and the gloom of Drop Dead, and I wanted to make a piece that reflected the happy point in my life where I had got married and was in love really deeply. And so in 2003 we created a more rustic piece again, and I've realised in looking back over the works that I've made that I make quite a dark, difficult piece, and then as an antidote I seem to make a piece with a white floor and a much sort of more playful piece. So this was an attempt, slightly driven by Shakespeare's As You Like It, I have to say, because at university I played Rosalind, and it stayed with me, a sort of pastoral piece that also was beginning, as with Caravan of Lies, to acknowledge that there's a performance area that you go into and you perform, and then you can step off of it and still be visible. So down the side of this white floor, again covered in leaves, that also had trees at various intervals in it, were cleats with costumes on, costume stands. And so there was this alluding to the fact that we could go slightly off stage and change, which we didn't do much, but we were just drawing attention to the theatricality of the staging, which is obviously what Richard is very good at in his work with forced entertainment. However, what we did was create a sort of fiction, a playground, a pastoral playground where people were having quite a good time, getting a bit drunk, messing about together, and it sort of turned towards the end to being a slightly darker place, but it was quite a joyful piece in a way. We ran the performers into the space through the audience as well. So again, I was just beginning to look at breaking down barriers of how you enter a space, which I've gone on to explore in much more detail. But that was the first time I'd sort of done that with a proscenium arch piece. And they exited the same way, I think. No, they didn't. They faded to black in a Pina Bausch line. So there were five performers in Let the Mountains Lead You to Love. TC, the three Poles came together for the first time. Aurora, Patricia and Janusz, bringing their Eastern European sensibility to the work. I was still using Polish folk music in the work for the third time. I was quite obsessed with folk music at that time, alongside John Avery's music and Richard Loden's set. And again, there was quite a sapphic duet that continued the exploration from Drop Dead between Iris, an Austrian performer, and Patricia, where again we were exploring partnering with a musical instrument. Very beautiful. Got lots of attention again for being quite a new thing at the time. And revisited the relationship between Janusz and TC as a duet form from On the House. So it's a sort of deepening of physical relationships, really, making this work. The funniest anecdote from making this piece, I think, was that Richard originally designed the trees as fake trees, because we were wondering what could be real and what could be fake. And he got the measurements of it wrong, and they turned up looking like extremely large cigarettes that were about this wide and about 4 meters tall. So I paid quite a lot of money to have those made, and then we chopped them up for firewood, or for skip, can't remember. But that just goes to show that sometimes when you're trying to indicate something or represent something, it's better just to use the real objects. And of course we ended up using real trees set against the artificiality of the white floor, and that was much more successful as a set design.